representing New York. Give it up for Eitan and Levine.
Thank you so much. I'm a cancer survivor. That's a thing about me. You don't need to do that. I didn't do cancer right. I didn't do it right. Like, when I had cancer, all of my favorite sports teams were bad. I don't know if you know this, but the best part of having cancer is getting to meet your favorite athletes. But instead, there's just a bunch of pictures of a young, bald me with New York Mets players that I don't recognize at all. Like, I could have met Derek Jeter. Make-A-Wish was like, you want to meet Derek Jeter? And I was like, no, I'm a New York Mets fan. So instead I got to meet Benny Agbayani. You know who that is? Yeah, me neither. I met him 3 times. I just kept on meeting him. This is how irrelevant of a player he was. The 3rd time I met him, he recognized me before I recognized him. Which is not how Make-A-Wish is supposed to work. Like, I don't mean to diminish cancer. If you have cancer, it's a terrible thing. But if you had cancer and you lived in Cleveland before LeBron James came along, it was a waste of good cancer. That's all I'm saying. I'm Jewish. Are there other Jews here at all? Get them! No. I'm joking. It's a tough time to be a Jew, right? It's a tough time to be a Jew. The neo-Nazis are coming back. That's a thing. The neo-Nazis are coming back. Neo-Nazis are interesting to me because you've got to be one of the dumbest people on the planet to be a neo-Nazi, correct? You've got to be so dumb. But at the same time, their symbol, the swastika, it's very hard to draw. I don't ever try drawing a swastika, but they're not easy to draw. Which is why anytime you see a synagogue that's been spray painted with swastikas on the news, there's always like 4 or 5 deformed swastika attempts. Like making its way up to the main swastika. Like, neo-Nazis show up to synagogues with spray paint, they're just like, the Jews will not replace us! The Jews will not replace us! Fuck, okay. The Jews will not replace us! The Jews, god damn it, okay. Just over and over. You gotta believe in weird conspiracy theories if you're a neo-Nazi, right? Like that the Jews did 9/11. The Jews did not do 9/11. If the Jews did 9/11, we wouldn't shut up about it. We love taking ownership over something. If the Jews did 9/11, like every Jewish mother would be like, remember 9/11? Miriam Eppelman's grandson, he did 9/11. We take ownership over the good stuff and the bad stuff. You ever talk to some Jews about Bernie Madoff? It's like 99% anger and 1% pure pride. It's always like, Bernie Madoff, that monster! I hope he dies for what he did to us in this community! But man, oh man, $65 billion. Boy, did that Jew go on some ride! Oh man. I'd love to see a guy touch those numbers! My name is Eitan. It's a Hebrew name. It means Christ killer in Hebrew. I got 2 names. I got Eitan, that's my name that I go by, that's my Hebrew name. And then I got the name Evan. Evan is on all of my legal documents. And the reason why is because my grandparents are Holocaust survivors. And they're afraid that the Holocaust was to happen again. They wanted to give me like a secular name I could kind of like duck under. Because Eitan Shmuel Levine, very Jewish. But Evan Shmuel Levine fools everybody. No one knows I'm a Jew with that name. I was born and raised in an aggressively Jewish household. We used to watch Schindler's List every Thanksgiving. Which I kind of like because watching Schindler's List with my buddy was like watching it with director's commentary in the room. She was there. The entire time she's saying stuff like, oh, I remember that bush. You know, like fun little tidbits. I love my grandmother to death. My grandmother is the meanest person on the planet. She's the meanest human alive. Everyone's grandmother is the meanest human alive. Like, everyone's grandmother has just like a plate full of cookies ready to go in one hand, and then just like a bucket full of insults ready to go in the other hand. Like, anytime I go to my grandmother's house, it's always like, I made homemade fudge. Your father was a mistake. Like, every time. This is how big of a ball buster my grandmother is. My grandfather, also a Holocaust survivor, right? He got out of the Holocaust, and then he went back to Paris to join the resistance fighters. And when he was in Paris, he was also known for being a guy that would have sex with a lot of women. Now, why was I told this about my sweet, sweet Zadie? I do not know. But apparently, Moshe Echstein was the original fuckboy of Paris. But that's not the guy that I met. The guy that I met was just like a quiet shell of a human. Because whatever the Nazis did to my grandfather just like wasn't as bad as whatever my grandmother did to my grandfather. Like, all those years. Like, he got out of the Holocaust and was like, boom, 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 time to fucking kill. But then, like, after my grandmother, he was like, I don't buy eggs without her permission. Thank you so much, amazing.